You know what? I was actually making another video, and I ended the video by saying I was about to install this double din kit in this car, and I figured, why not film me doing it? I think it'll be make a good video, because a lot of people, they always ask, you know, how do you install the double din kit, and there's a lot of people that are scared to cut the dash up and stuff like that. So I've done maybe 5 or 6 of them at this point, so I'm pretty well versed on how to do it. So I figure I'll show you guys, I'll take you through the process of me doing one on this car. And this car is I'll probably put it in another video, but this car is this is a very nice car that I'm working on. It's check this out, 58,777 miles, 96. So I guess I'll walk you through how to do it. So first you got to take, of course, the lower dash off. If you don't know how to do that, there's 2 screws under here to, 2 screws under here to pull the gauge cluster bezel out, and then open the glove box. And then depending on if it's ever been taken off before, there's probably 5 or 6 screws along the bottom. Most of the time when I come across a car that doesn't have the original radio and this has been taken off before, there's maybe only 2 because most people don't put them all back. So you got 5 or 6 across the bottom. When you take this off, there's gonna be 1 here in the corner, and then you got 1 behind the fuse panel here that you gotta take off. So I'll get these off and I'll show you. Yeah, see, so this screw actually was missing right here. So somebody's been in here before, because there's normally a screw holding that in. This is a 96, so you don't have to worry about the shifter. If you have a 95 or 94, you got to put it shifter all the way down to be able to pull this off. Because we got a 96 here, we don't have that problem. And then you have also, when you pull this out, there's going to be a plug for the ashtray light that you have to disconnect. And be mindful if your car has like an alarm or something like that. So a lot of people, they put like the little indicator lights or switches, kill switches, stuff like that. Be mindful of that wiring. If the person who installed it knows what they're doing or did it the right way, normally they'll put quick disconnects on it, like a male and female terminal or a bullet terminal, or they could be fancy and get a plastic, you know, weather type plug or something. I always tend to do that if I'm mounting a switch or a light or anything that's attached to something that you may have to remove. You always want to think ahead and put something on there so that you don't have to cut that wire and splice it each time. If you just have a way to disconnect it, especially if it's nothing crazy, I mean, just a little indicator light or a switch, you know, you could just put a male and a female terminal and connect and disconnect it. I do that with like my tweeters and stuff. Like if I'm mounting tweeters to like the door panel, you know, I'll make them disconnect where you can do quick disconnects so you don't have to cut or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish cranking on these bolts. Oh crap, lost my phone. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these bolts out. I can feel 1, 2, should be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4. Now there are 2 right here. You don't have to disconnect these. These are connected to the I think it's called a knee bolster or whatever, because then this will just fall out. You don't need to take that out. So I'll get these 4 taken out, and then and then this one, and the dash should be ready to come out. And then I'll take it in the garage and set up my little workbench and show you how I cut it and test fit and how to use the epoxy, and how to cut in here too, because you got to do some modification in here. It's a whole lot of fun. So I'll be back. All right, so got all the screws out. So now it's time to actually pull the dash from the car. This is a sketchy process, because if you're new to the B-body game, you'll learn real quick that this lower dash piece for these cars is like the holy grail. This lower dash and this driver door panel, those are probably 2 of the most sought after parts when it comes to these cars, because they're always broken. You know, they always get broken when somebody breaks in the car. They try to steal the radio, they just rip this out, break it. So, and it's the whole piece. I mean, it breaks in different places, but it's usually like right in here it's broken, or somebody didn't go and do the right double din kit. They just kind of trimmed and cut it. And sometimes if you're gonna go with another double din kit, that's okay, because you're gonna replace that whole piece anyway. But sometimes they get cutting into to here, and you know, then it's not savable. So pulling this off, you want to be really careful. What I tend to do is I kind of start from this end, because there's a couple clips here, and then you got some clips up here that hold it in. So I kind of try to get these off first, because this is, I would say, the weakest portion of the dash, especially up here. And you see this one's already cracked right here. So I didn't do that. I'm just seeing this here. This is already cracking. It looks like this has been off before, because it's not seated all the way in. Even here, you can see it's not seated all the way in. So somebody's definitely pulled this dash before, for whatever reason. And then you can see right here where this clips in, the bezel, this is broken. So yeah, I tend to start from glove box and work my way that way. And you want to pull kind of like the top and the bottom at the same time. So I'm gonna need both hands for that. But I'm gonna try to set the GoPro up here on the I guess that's cool. Okay, so get it from here. Make sure there's nothing else holding it in, which I don't think. It all feels pretty loose. There we go. And then so we got that loose, we got here loose. Sometimes, is there another screw? You want to stop. If it's too hard, you definitely want to stop and see if there's anything else holding it in. I don't feel anything, but right here is real tight. It's not usually this hard. Normally once you get it, but the car is low miles, so it's probably not been off often. Like mine just falls right out once I loosen the screws. I'm not sure why this one's being so difficult. There we go. Got that side. But right in here somewhere, I don't know if there's a screw in here or what, but it shouldn't be. Right here where where this is connected, she's being a beast. I don't think there's any other screws. I pulled a million of these off. But this one's, yeah, see, it should never be that hard. All right. Give me a minute to figure this out. I'm not sure why this is so tight over here. Like I said, I've never had one this tight. Normally once you see the other side came out loosely, but this corner over here, for some reason, there's something holding it in, and I can't tell what it is. So I don't feel any more screws under here, but that's nuts. Yeah, all right, give me a minute, let me figure this out. Well, I found the problem. I guess it's been a while since I took off one of these that have never been taken off before, but again, I think this one's been off before because that screw over here was missing. However, so let me get some light for you. There is a screw. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but it's right there. There it is. Oh no. Yeah, that screw right there. Yeah, so this one, where'd it go? Right here. So that's the one stopping it from coming off. So there isn't one on the other side. So you have to pull I assume you have to pull the ashtray to get it out. I pulled it just to see where the problem was, and then you just got that one connector right there and the 4 bolts that hold the ashtray in. So we'll make sure we put that one back when we put this dash back in. So yeah, you got one right there, so don't forget that one, like I did. I really didn't forget it, I didn't realize it was there, because like I said, I think the last time I took off one of these that had never been removed, I did. No, that car had a custom radio. I think it would have been my car, because my car was all original when I got it. Let me get this screw off, get the dash off, and then we'll pick it up in the garage. All right, so is everything when you order the Etchus kit? Is everything it comes with. So this is your main bezel. It's gonna go like this on here. You retain, so you gotta pull this out. It's just some tabs in the back. You just squeeze them and then this will pop out, and put that there. You got your mounting bezel for the AC controls. So you actually bolt the AC controls to this, and then this will go into the factory location on the car. These are your mounting brackets for the radio, your cage for the radio. These usually I've never really had to use these, but these are, if you get too much, if you have a radio and there's not enough room, you can use this to kind of hide it, so to say, so you don't see right through. You got your plastic weld to mount this to that, and that's it. So first thing I do is I just kind of mount this on here, and usually if you cut along this line here, you'll usually get it pretty close. Usually I can cut along that line and then just clean it up with the Dremel grinding tool to just kind of get it smooth and flush, but it'll sit right in there pretty nicely. Be mindful though of these corners. This is something I learned. This top corner, make sure you get it the nice rounded corner, and the bottom, because you'll really see it. You'll end up with a hole through there and it looks terrible. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Dremel and get to cutting. Not so bad. All right, so what I normally do is I cut pretty wide. You know, I cut small, and then I go in and clean it up with the grinder. Don't worry about this stuff. This is just, it'll just peel right out the way. So you can get in there with I might use the die grinder with a sand wheel on it. There's different ways you can kind of just clean it up, but always cut smaller, because you can always cut more instead of trying to get it right on the first pass. Yeah, so I always cut a little less than what I think I need, rather than trying to get it perfect on the first cut, because if you cut too much, then you can't get that back. So periodically what I'll do, once I get to this point, I'll lay the template on top of it and just see where I need to make adjustments and trim. So it's going to sit in here like this, so you can see it's not quite, you'll be able to feel it sit, like right here it sits in and it's flush right here in this corner, but over here it's not, because we got to trim somewhere there, and the sides won't sit, and so we got a little trimming to do. But it's and you see how I left a lot of material there in that corner and in this corner, because if you cut too much you can see right through it. So I'm gonna get the I'm gonna put a different attachment on here, a grinding wheel, and I'm slowest setting. After about another 15-20 minutes of grinding it down with the die grinder, and I don't know what grit that is, but just some sandpaper, just a sandpaper wheel. We got it where it fits perfectly. So I don't want to move it too much, but you can see there's no spaces around it. It's perfect. So I use these little clamps to hold it. So I use these clamps to hold it in place while I set the epoxy. And normally I'll do 2 runs of epoxy. So I'll do 1 run here along the sides and the bottom. And then once that gets hard enough to hold it, I'll take the clamps off and just hit the corners with another set. Remember, when you're doing this textured side, it's weird because the texture side matches more to the factory, but it's actually the texture side backwards. Yeah, because easiest way to tell is where the Impala plaque goes, is in the little indentation. About half there, and there's some little piece we're gonna take off. And then this just goes back on here to seal it so it doesn't leak out and get hard. Use this little stick and you just mix it together. Mix it together until it gets nice and mixed. Alright. I'm gonna take this, put it on the dash. Get it up, so we got a little bit there, but it's not too terrible. I know there's some professionals out there that are like, oh, that looks terrible. Oh, he sucks. You know what? I don't care. Because you're not going to see this. This is the, you know, and I mean, there are certain things where even though you can't see it, you want it to look good. This is one of those things that, you know, you're not going to see it at all. You're not going to see it at all. It's going to be behind the dash. And, you know, I really don't know another way to do it to make it cleaner. I mean, that's about, you know, all of them I've done have been like that. So we'll let this set for a few hours. All right, so we got the epoxy set to mount the front bezel onto the lower dash. So that's gonna take a few hours to set to really get hard, and it's usually you should do it overnight, but I didn't do it last night. It was Sunday, and I was like, I'm not working on Sunday. So as long as it sets good enough for a few hours, it'll be fine. There's not a lot of pressure on it. It shouldn't be, so it should be okay by the time we're ready to install this. Worst case, I don't have to deliver the car till tomorrow, so I can still let it set overnight. I may just need to put it on and off just to check the clearance of the radio and stuff. So now we're going to work on the interior stuff. So first thing you do, so practice a lot of people don't do, I already checked, but before you take the old radio out, whether it's an aftermarket or a factory radio, and it has a CD player, make sure there's no CDs in it. Eject the CDs. Back in the day when I used to do stereos, I would always forget to do that, and I'd pull the old radio out and get everything installed, and the customer would be like, hey, where's my Young Jeezy CD? And I'm like, I don't know, I didn't see it. And it was like, oh, it was in the CD player, and you know, I never took it out. So start started making it a common practice to hit that eject button before I disconnect the power of the old radio. So I already did that on this one. So we're just gonna go. The factory radio just slides out like this, and then you got two plugs at the back. You got your factory radio. Ah, that hurt. And you got your antenna. And that's it. Now that's out of here, and that's done. So now what you got to do is you got to loosen the screws that hold the HVAC controls are on there, because with the new when you put the double din in, it relocates this down here. You don't have to cut or splice anything. It'll pretty much just, the wires and all the connectors are long enough for it to just drop down, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad of a job. But first thing, so you got two screws at the bottom, one at the top, hold the HVAC controls in, and then they just come loose. So in order for them to drop down, you have to actually cut this bracket. There's a bracket that goes right across. You can see it under there and connects both sides. So you're gonna need to cut here, and you can cut this screw out completely because you're not gonna use this anymore. So this screw, this whole insert here, will get cut flush, and it'll get cut flush over here. And then the back piece, you'll cut it out. You just cut it down here and up there. So usually I do it with the Dremel, but I want to use the Sawzall. I want to use the big boy toys, so I'm gonna use my Sawzall. I'm gonna get that cut, and I'll get back to you. All right, got my Milwaukee, of course, Sawzall. So I'm gonna set y'all up. See if you can get some good footage of the carnage. All right. So first, we'll cut this side. Move this out the way best that we can. Alright, that went smooth. We got that side. Move that over. And we'll just cut. That side. It was a lot more loud and violent than it had to be, but you see it did a good cut. So and then we can just basically, you can just break this. It's not gonna hurt anything. Just break that out of there. So now this whole piece is out. Trash. KW M560BT. It's Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Main point I wanted to make about it. Damn it. That's the front of it here, and that's the side. So it's pretty short compared to another one. So this should be able to slide right in here. I mean, you could tuck this thing way back there. So we'll be able to mount this right here, and it doesn't hit the air box. So it's perfect. You know, it clearances. We'll have plenty of room for the wiring, you know, and we don't have to cut into the air box. So if you're thinking about putting a double din in your Impala, just be mindful of that. If you're no longer using CDs or you don't need a DVD player and all that, I know Pioneer makes one, which is what I have in my Denali. Okay, so now this piece. So how this piece mounts, it mounts, this is what bolts in now to hold the radio and the AC controls in. So you notice it's got 3 bolts, 3 holes, 1, 2, and 3, and they mount to the factory location. This will mount to here. Ow! You know what? Let me set this up. Actually, my battery's about to die. All right, so I got the screws in, 1, 2, and 3, and I mean, if you really wanted to be fancy, you could trim these, you know, you cut them, but if this ever needs to be taken off, I always just leave them so you can put them back in. So basically that's the basic inner structure of the Etchus kit. Who's calling me? Ah, look who it is. My parts man. Let me holler at him real quick. Hello? Okay, so what you want to do, just grab your cage that comes with the kit, slide it into place, and if you've installed a radio before, you know, it's just like a regular thing. Put it in there. You want to grab you can get a flathead, whatever, and there's these little triangular tabs, and what you want to do is press those in like that, and what that does is it locks this in place. So now, see, now it doesn't move. And I mean, you don't have to go crazy. I usually just do 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and that'll usually, you know, that'll keep that secure. That's not going anywhere. So that's step 1. Step 2 is you got these brackets here. These are the brackets that attach to the side of the radio here. And like I said, this is going to be a little trickier because of the shorter chassis, and I actually didn't. This is actually my first time doing one of these with this kit, so we're actually going to figure this out together. And if I can find the screws, we'll be in great shape here, but I think they're somewhere. But basically, how this goes, flip this over. Oh shoot! Again, that's why we keep the plastic on. This will screw in here like this. You just put, you know, your flat screws in there. This goes underneath it. So these little pieces, so they allow you to adjust it forward and back. So usually I go about 3 notches back from the back little piece. I count 3 back. So 1, 2, 3, and that's normally about where it goes. Now if I could just find some screws to screw this in, we'll be in excellent shape. And I think I found them. Here we go. So yeah, you want to use these flat ones. Flush mount, I guess, would be the correct terminology. Let's see. I'm really trying to get this video posted for you guys. 90% of the time, the videos that I post, they're months. I mean, it takes me months to edit footage and post a video. So I'm trying to do this. I got inspired. I don't know if you follow my boy Cool Cars KJ. He's got a YouTube channel. He does a lot of short beds, OBS trucks. That's his thing. And he pulled up on me yesterday. He was out in Dallas dropping a car off, and I saw him post that he was out there on Facebook, so I told him, you know, pull up on me. So he came by yesterday and got some footage of my SS and the, you know, a little bit of footage of a couple other projects I got going on over here. And bro, this man posted the video the same night. I'm like, damn, I gotta get better, because it'd be months. So I posted on my IG that I was gonna do a double din install and post the video tonight. So crap. So got that installed, so that should look like that. With the bigger, longer radios, of course, you can put more screws in, but because of this shorter din radio, we're just gonna put 2. Well, yeah, we'll leave it off. So let's plug in this stuff. Hopefully this is the last time. Hopefully I don't have to, because sometimes it doesn't fit all the way and then you got to pull it back apart, which is not a huge deal, but if I could get it right the first time, that would be ideal. Then you just slide it in. Boom, installed. That's it. Okay, so this worked out perfectly. Even though I was hoping that it fit perfectly the first time, I was kind of hoping it didn't, so I can show you how to fix it if you run into this problem. So I got the dash on there. I think everything is pretty much, yeah, it's on there. So I'm going to show you what happened, and then I'll show you how to correct it. So don't mind all the dust. This is from when I was cleaning it up. So as you can see, it's centered. However, you got a gap right there. See all that? And then up at the top, you just got a huge gap, and it doesn't look good. So I'm going to show you how to correct that. Basically, those little the two brackets on the side, you can move the radio in and out. So we're going to have to pull it out a little bit so it fits right in here. And you know, like I said, it happens. And actually, the cool thing about this kit is it comes with quick releases. So you just stick these in and you can pull it out, and I'll show you how to do that. Let me get this dash off and I'll show you how to adjust it and how to get it where it fits perfectly and looks nice. All right, now that you got the dash off, I'm going to show you how to adjust it. Now, this is one of the really cool features about the Etchus kit, is that you can stick this in here, stick this in here, pull the radio out. Look at that. Look at that. And it comes right out. See that? So I'm not going to disconnect everything. I'm just going to, the wires are all long enough. And look, I forgot to hook up the stereo. Actually, you know what? Let's do it the right way, Ray. Let's disconnect it so that you don't want the weight of the, even though this thing weighs maybe a pound, it's just a good practice to not let the radio hang by the wires. Okay, so these are good because these are this one. Okay, so basically this is your adjustment here. So where's my screwdriver? Oh, here it is. So what we want to do, we want to move the radio out further, so we need to move this bracket back. I've been out here all day working on this car. Shoot, I've been working on this car about a month. But it's okay, because it's actually been kind of fun. I've done a lot of new things on this car that I haven't done before. So now I can say, oh yeah, I've done coilovers on these cars. I've done the whole QA1 kit. I've done a short chassis radio. That's about it. Mounted up some nice wheels on it, but I've done that too. I've mounted up some nice wheels. These are some of the nicest though. These are some of the nicest. Okay, so let's try this again. Plug everything in. Let's try it again. So now it sticks out a little bit further. So I'm gonna get the dash on and let's see if that helps. And hopefully I can end this video now and go in the house. Success. So it's installed. So the only thing left to do, I'm gonna paint the black part with Sim Landau black is the color I use. So it matches. So this matches this. There is a texture coating you can use, and I tried it, but I really didn't like it, so I don't use it. But usually what I'll do, I'll paint this part back black, and then you install your Impala SS thing, you just stick it in there and you're done. But you can look at the clearance, it's tilted slightly upwards. I don't know if that's on purpose, but mine does the same thing. I like it because it's, you're sitting up high and you can kind of, but it's flush up here, and then it's just got a little tilt here down at the bottom. But you can see there's no more gaps in it. It looks really good, fits nice. So that is it, guys. I'm running out of storage on the on my memory card anyway, and I'm actually happy I was able to finish this video in one day. So I'm gonna go in the house. Well, I'm gonna paint this, clean up the wiring, get the seats back in, everything, so that tomorrow the only thing I have to do left on this car is hook up the battery, I may do the subs tonight, get all that done. So tomorrow is just a matter of hooking up the battery, tuning it, and a couple minor stuff before I deliver it to the customer. But I'm gonna go ahead and edit this footage tonight so I can go ahead and get it to you. So it's 7:50 right now, 10 minutes to 8, January 25th. So I'm going to try to finish this. I'm trying to edit tonight because I still got to do the tweeters and stuff, but that's quick stuff. I can do that tomorrow. This was the major part here, was getting this in, getting it fit right and everything like that. So it's cold. I'm tired. I appreciate everybody for liking, subscribing, and commenting on the videos. I see your comments. I always forget to respond. So what happened was, I have two YouTubes. I have my two YouTube accounts. I have my business, which is the OTG Mechanic YouTube, and I have the personal one, and that's the one I've been watching videos on for the last couple of years. So all my subscriptions and people I subscribe to are on that one. So I'm normally logged into that one. And so I've been trying to filter everything over to the OTG Mechanic, so I'm always on that one, but I always forget. So, but I do see your comments, I get the email updates, I do see your likes, I do see your subscribers, the subscribers and new subscribers and stuff like that. Definitely appreciate it, keeps me going. I'm gonna go ahead and try to edit this video tonight and get it up. And this video, I did this install on a customer's car. So this is customer's car I'm trying to finish up. I did it my way. This is not really an instructional video. This is more of just like this is how I do it type of thing. And I'll try to do more videos like that because if I filmed half of the work that I do, my channel will probably be a lot more popular, because every single day I work on an Impala. There's not one day goes by where I don't do something with an Impala. I have 6 of them at the house right now, customer cars, and I have my personal car. So I have 7 Impalas right now. And there's 3 of them, 2 of them have LS's, well, including mine, 3 of them have LS's. This one I just did the radio in has got stupid nice wheels, full sound system, the whole 9. There's another one that's getting a full interior and rims. Well, actually, it's getting these SD Forge wheels here. So I got another set here. And it's getting like nice interior. That car was actually shipped to me from Virginia. I know my boy Lancey watches the video, so what's up to you, bro? I'm gonna send you some updates to your car. So I'm actually gonna do a video on it. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, but I'm gonna mount the wheels up and show the suspension and stuff. And then I got the 94. I got this gray car here from my boy Derek I'm working on. So I got some shit. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and edit this video. And like I said, I appreciate all the support. Appreciate all the follows and likes and all that. Bye, Mom, and everybody up there. I'll catch y'all later.